You know, I was talking with a friend the other day and she said something that stuck with me. She told me, I love running, but I'm just not as fast as I used to be. It's so frustrating. She's in her late 50s, postmenopausal, and just trying to figure out how to keep up the pace. And I realised she's not alone. So many women of her age have this passion for running still, but are frustrated at slowing down and the pace getting slower. But here's the thing, menopause doesn't mean you have to slow down. You can still maintain or even get faster. So today we are going to talk about how you can get faster after menopause or just aging in general. Trust me, it is possible. So let's dive in.
Menopause brings changes in your body that can impact your running. Things like decreased muscle mass, decreased bone mineral density, and an increased risk of injuries, all due to hormonal changes. But here's the good news. It doesn't mean that you have to get slower. You just need to adapt your training to your new physiology. Think of it as upgrading your approach. You're still the same strong runner, but now the focus shifts to strength training and to building endurance progressively. What we mean is weight-bearing exercises so that we can maintain the loss of lean muscle mass and continue to get faster as we go through menopause. But most importantly in this phase, you need to listen to your body. If your energy levels fluctuate, it's okay to adjust your runs accordingly. Devlin's going to take us to the next tip, which is nutrition and hydration. But just remember, some days might be high energy and some might be slower paced, and that is perfectly fine.
Thanks, Shona. Now let's talk about fueling your body the right way. For female runners over the age of 45, your nutrition needs to change. What used to work for you in the past might not work for you as well now. Protein becomes more critical for maintaining muscle mass, but don't forget about calcium and vitamin D for your bone health. Estrogen fluctuates, which means calcium does not get absorbed into your bones as effectively, which means you might need to take a supplement. Also, vitamin D, for those of you who may be in the northern hemisphere and might not get quite as much sunlight. And hydration, often overlooked but super important. Hormonal changes can often mess with your body's fluid balance, so staying hydrated is key. The rule of thumb I share with my clients is drink to thirst. Drinking to a hydration strategy has been debunked and can lead to hyponatremia in extreme cases. Lindsay, you've got some ideas on strength training, right?
Absolutely, Dev. Strength training is such a game changer for female runners after they turn 45. When you lose muscle mass, it directly impacts your speed. I've seen so many of my female clients who are over 45 that are hesitant to add strength training to their routine, but when they do, their speed improves and they feel stronger overall. Start with full body workouts 2 to 3 times a week and focus on compound movements, things like step-ups, squats and deadlifts. Don't forget to strengthen your core and glutes. That'll improve your efficiency and that means faster runs. Start small and build up gradually. Runners always forget about their hamstrings. The posterior chain is important. Do things like Romanian deadlifts and hip thrusts. Nikki's got some great tips for recovery. But before she dives into that, I've put a link in the description of this video where we've put together a great strength training for female runners over 45 for you to follow.
Now let's talk about recovery because it is just as important as the running itself, especially after menopause. I used to think I could just push through, but as I've gotten older, I realised without proper recovery, I'm just doing more harm than good. Sleep is your #1 recovery tool. It's where your muscles repair themselves, so make sure you are getting enough. Nutrition is topped with sleep. Without a sound nutrition, you're wasting your time on all the other fancy gadgets. Sleep and nutrition are 98% of your recovery strategy. The other 2% include things like foam rolling, compression socks. It's also really important to add rest days into your week. You need the balance of resting along with running and intensity sessions if you want to improve. And in terms of active recovery, this is complementary to the other stuff that you are doing. This can be things like yoga, swimming, Pilates, mobility, stretching. Recovery isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Shona, back to you for some good advice on mental health.
Mental health often gets overlooked, but it's so important, especially during peri and postmenopause phases. Running is as much mental as it is physical, and perimenopause can bring mood swings, anxiety, and even depression. All of that, of course, can affect your motivation to run. And that's why it's crucial to prioritize your mental health. When we speak about the runner's high, it's interesting because running actually causes the same hormone to cross the blood-brain barrier as marijuana does. So the runner's high is actually a real thing. Those good feelings and endorphins that post-runners feel are not just a fantasy, it's actually a physiological effect. And so by prioritizing your running during these phases, you will also start to feel better. Generally, being active can help us feel better. Have you ever gone for a run and thought, oh, I really feel more miserable now for going on that run? Most likely not. So just try to get out the door, get started, even if you start with a walk or maybe even some light strength. If, however, you are really struggling with your mental health, struggling to get up, struggling to move, and you can't even get motivated to get out the door, it may be a good idea to chat with your physician about medication options to help you. Just know that there is nothing to be ashamed of. I personally struggle from major depressive disorder and am also on chronic medication to help treat this. And the science shows that there can be an increase in depression and anxiety symptoms over this time. So the first thing is this: find a physician who listens to you. Science also shows, unfortunately, that women more often than not have to justify their symptoms to their doctors compared to their male counterparts. So find a physician that you trust, who understands menopause, and even more than that, also understands running and menopause together. So whether it's a running group, a coach, or even just a friend, having that accountability and support can help keep you motivated.
Hormonal changes don't just affect your body physically. They can also affect your mood, your energy levels, and your motivation. Other symptoms can also include things like hot flushes, night sweats, and insomnia, all of which makes running unenjoyable and difficult. I've had athletes come to me wondering why one day they might feel so fatigued, but the next day they feel absolutely great. It is often those hormonal fluctuations at play. I suggest tracking how you feel. Some days might call for a lighter session, and that's fine. Listen to your body and adjust accordingly. Just a note, there is no cyclic trend in this phase, unfortunately. So it's important to adapt your training to how you feel. Consider MHTs. It isn't a blanket approach across the board, but many women have benefited from it, and it can help with menopause symptoms. However, be sure that you do consult your physician regarding MHTs.
For tip number 7, we have consistency. It's truly the secret to success. You don't have to run every single day, but you do need to show up regularly. It's the consistency that keeps your fitness levels up, even when life gets busy. The great thing about consistency is that it builds momentum. The more consistent you are, the more your body adapts and you improve. And if you ever feel unsure or unmotivated, working with a coach can really help keep you on track. Running during menopause is a new chapter in your fitness journey. Let's celebrate it. Sure, it comes with some challenges, but it also offers many opportunities for growth. By focusing on your strength, recovery, nutrition, and your mental health, you can continue to improve your speed and enjoy running for many more years to come. Now, if you're ready to dive deeper and get experts' advice, I am offering a free online training class specifically designed for female runners over the age of 45. This class is your chance to learn how to tailor your running for your body and stay strong, fast, and injury-free. So if you're serious about your running journey, save your seat now. Spots fill up fast, so don't wait. Click on the link to register and I'll see you there.